Hey, how goes it, folks? Hope you're having a good Friday morning. At least it's Friday, right? Hey, Ray, thank you very much. That's awesome of you. Um, yeah, I always like these. It's a Friday morning, and while I have a busy day in front of me today, like heinously more busy than it normally is. And so I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Freaking out. But it's always great to start the morning with you guys. I missed you last week because I had meetings during the time. So I'm grateful for the chance to start my Friday morning out with you. Hey, Rihanna, great to see you. So, yeah, I like all of the topics that I lecture on because I get to choose the topics. This is an optional live stream. This is about being real world ready and future proofing our careers. And today's lecture is definitely about future proofing your career. I mean, to the umpteenth degree. So, public speaking, right? Excuse me, I'm still dealing with my cold. Public speaking, I'll tell you what, people love to hate on public speaking and giving presentations and so forth. Hey, Jenny. And there's all these, you've always heard people say, excuse me, I'd rather be dead than give a public presentation, which is complete and utter baloney. Okay, trust me, you don't want to be dead. All right. Hey, Jan. So what I want to do today is I really want to make the case for this is a really, really important skill to learn, and we'll talk about that. B, it's actually a hell of a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally fun. And C, you don't have to be nervous, and I'm going to tell you how not to be nervous, okay? So, why public speaking? Well, yeah, okay, here's some verbiage here, but I want to use this verbiage right here. This is from the CEO of TED Talks, He says, presentation literacy isn't an optional extra for the few. It's a core skill for the 21st century. Guys, I really want to invite you to embrace and just really wallow in that concept. This is a core skill for the 21st century, especially as we talk about future-proofing our careers and getting ready for AI and so forth, which is totally and utterly going to change everything. Hey, Anna. So let me show you something. This is a hammer, all right? So it's actually my wife's hammer, and I need to make sure I return it to her workshop after I'm done. Otherwise, she's going to beat me with it. So this is a hammer. A hammer can build a house. It can build a cabinet. It can build blah, blah, blah. Actually, no. A hammer can't do any of that. This hammer is actually pretty useless. It's just a hunk of metal. The thing that is building the house or building the cabinet is the person wielding the hammer. The hammer alone does nothing. It's the craftsman who just happens to use a hammer that does the cool stuff. Okay? Hey, Joe. Well, folks, it is exactly the same thing when it comes to AI. Okay? AI is a fantastic tool, a tremendous tool, especially when giving presentations. AI is your friend when giving presentations, but it's still you giving the presentation. AI is just helping you. It's just the tool, okay? So those who really embrace learning the skills necessary to be an effective public speaker and giving presentations, they will have a clear career advantage over those who don't. And I really mean that. Let me give you an example. I used to work for Intel Corporation. You know that. And hey, Panay, at Intel, I'm not kidding. I worked there for over 10 years, and I probably gave 3 or 4 presentations a week. I mean, it's just normal. It's part of the job. And your presentation skills can make or break your career. That is not hyperbole. That is not an exaggeration. You can have a fantastic freaking idea, or the project can be doing fantastic and so forth. But if your presentation suffers, you're not going to get the support you need from your stakeholders. Well, one time I was giving a presentation, and we had a new VP who just moved into the area. So while he wasn't new to Intel, of course, he's a VP or something or another. He'd been with the company for 25 years. He had just moved in. And this was his first day in his first meeting or so. And I'm giving a presentation, and it's a project update. And these project updates are important because at any point, the stakeholders can pull the plug on the project and cut off funding and say, no, we're going to reallocate your funding somewhere else. This is standard stuff. So you got to do well in the presentation. So I'm getting there, I'm doing the presentation and so on and so forth. And he leans over to my boss, Penny Bivens. She actually teaches here at Salt Lake Community College with me now. He leans over to my boss and says, listen, I don't know anything about this project because I'm new. This is the first time hearing about it. But I'm sold. He's selling it. And so that's an example of how salesmanship and presentation can really, really matter. And it's going to matter to you in your careers, I absolutely promise. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 5 tips, 5 E's of giving a good presentation. And then we'll talk about how not to be nervous doing so. All right, so the first 5 E's. Learn to read, Lon. And by the way, one of them is don't read from the slide. Anyway, engage, excite, educate, entertain, and embolden. Okay, let's talk through these. So engage. You want to engage your audience really early on. You want to grab them. You want to hook them. You've got about 30 seconds to a minute to really make the case to them that you're worth listening to. That's called engaging your audience. Think about when you watch a YouTube video. You give that video about 15 or 30 seconds before you click off. If it's not delivering for you. And all the analytics show this. I could show you all kinds of analytics to say the first 30 seconds matter the most. That's engagement. So how do you do this? Ask thought-provoking questions or maybe tell an impactful story. I told a story about when I gave the presentation to the VP at Intel. That's a way of kind of demonstrating what we're talking about and hopefully bringing you in. Making unexpected or provocative statements. I don't know that I said anything provocative, but I tried to use the example of the hammer and AI. Include a strong what's in it for me component, meaning what's in it for you. And I tried to express to you that this is really going to matter to your career. It's not a nice to have, as the CEO of TED says. It is a vital skill for the 21st century. This is going to future-proof your career, your presentation skills. Okay, so that's how I tried to engage. All right. Next one is inspire or excite. Remember, it's E. Help the audience envision a future state. I tried to do that a little bit by saying, hey, you in the future, when you're giving presentations, you'll be using AI. Sharing stories of success and overcoming challenges. We did that a little. Appealing to their identity. I didn't do that so much, all right? But appealing to the identity says, hey, listen, you you perceive yourself as a future leader. And by the way, you are a future leader. I'm not just saying that because of, no. This is why I teach. You're the future leaders. And the best way for me to influence the future is by influencing future leaders. It's all about me. It's not about you. It's about me. I want to influence the future. That means influencing you. So, you envision yourself as this, and I encourage this. More about that in Embolden. Highlight the benefit of the benefit to deepen motivation. The benefit of the benefit means the benefit of learning to give a great presentation is a great life, a great career, financial independence, autonomy, opportunities, so on and so forth. So you will benefit from this in your future. Okay, let's keep going. Educate, all right? Provide actionable and meaningful insights, such as make material concrete and relevant to the audience. I'm trying to do this as I give real-world examples. And by the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm presenting right now. I mean, it's not hard for me to give you a real-world concrete example. It's happening right now. Encourage and activate mental engagement by posing thought-provoking questions. For those of you who are in my lecture class, you know I do this a lot, right? Chan and Joe and a lot of you, you know that in lecture, especially think about Wednesday, right? Where we went deep on AI and so forth. That was a whole lecture on thought-provoking questions. And that's what we're doing here. And then when we do our work shift on Tuesday nights, for those who attend the work shift, those are thought-provoking questions to elicit engagement. Next one is entertain. Okay, here's the thing, guys. It's all performance art. It is all performance art. Teaching, we're all these PhD professors, so we like to take ourselves so seriously. No. It's performance art. If you're not entertained, you're not engaged. If you're not entertained, you're not engaged. If you're not engaged, you're not learning. So telling humorous or self-deprecating anecdotes, I do that a great deal. Incorporating humor into visuals. Now, for those of you who attend the lecture class on Tuesday mornings, you know that I have a whole bunch of humor in the visuals. I have animations and sounds and so on and so forth, and they're kind of weird and funky. Embrace your own unique style. I have a very unique style. You guys know this. And I don't shy away from it. I understand that I'm cringe. I get it. I don't care. I embrace it. And people respond to the confidence and the self-assuredness that embracing your weirdness presents. Doing or saying something unexpected, right? This is entertaining. This is engaging. So you want to do this. All right, embolden. I kind of feel like this is the most important. They're all important. But this one gets at the core of it. Help your audience believe in themselves. Okay, now, hey, Claire, to be cringe is to be free. Hell yeah. Actually, I really believe that. Because if you're afraid of being cringe, that's saying, I'm afraid that I'm not doing what society expects me to, and I'm deviating from societal norms. Geez Louise, I hope you're deviating from societal norms. You want to be free. Okay, let's keep going. I think this is important. Hey, Esmeralda, that because I'm not speaking for all of you. I'm not speaking for all of you. You are all in different stages of your life's journey and so forth. So I'm not speaking for all of you. However, I will say that in general, college students are really trying to find their way. They are trying to find their confidence. They are trying to find their voice and trying to find their passion. None of this is easy to do. I mean, all these freaking YouTube videos, oh, find your passion and you'll be fine. Like, finding your passion is easy. There are people in their 70s who have not yet found their passion, and it's not for a lack of trying. So to find your passion, to find your voice, to find your way is not easy. And part of my job as a professor is to embolden you, to say, I know it's hard. I get it. Just know that one day you're going to be kicking ass and taking names. It's going to happen. I know because I've been there. Guys, I got kicked out of college twice during my first 2 years. I was an awful student. It's okay. You're going to find your way. Embolden matters. So respecting who your audience is and what they want to become. I try to respect my audience and respect what they want to become, validating their achievements and their aspirations, and acting as a cheerleader for their potential. We need more of those people. I mean, I'm going to keep this hammer, by the way. I freaking love how it works. I like it. My wife's going to have to buy a new hammer. She won't know where it went. She doesn't watch my videos. Your parents love you and your friends love you, but sometimes we need somebody who is not required by federal mandate to love us, a mentor, a coach, an outsider who can say, you can do things. And as a presenter, if you can do that for your audience, you will have their attention. Okay, so those are the tips and tricks for how to give a good presentation. But now let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is, oh gosh, I'm nervous. I'm afraid of speaking in public. I'm afraid of giving presentations and so on. You don't have to be. Let me show you. As I tell you, by the way, I'm about to share with you some things that my wife always tells me don't say out. Don't say the things that I'm about to tell you, because she thinks they're depressing and nihilistic. I find them totally and utterly inspiring. So just so you know, we're about to embrace our happy inner nihilists. Okay, first thing, before the presentation, it's really good to have a pre-presentation routine. I have a routine before doing my these live streams. That's what we're doing right now. I have a routine that I follow. Deep breathing, listening to some favorite music. I actually have a playlist on Spotify called, I think it's Pumped Up. Something like that, something to inspire me, something to wake me up and get me going, right? So Power Up. I think it's called Power Up. That's it. Maybe taking a short walk, practicing some power poses. These are just examples. The point is, you want to have a pretty regular routine that shifts your mind and your psyche and your chi and all those other metaphysical things toward giving the presentation. And so then when it's time to give it, it's just the next step. It's not anything incongruent with what or who you are. All right, next one. Nerves. Nerves are just called excitement. All right, as it says here, you're ready for this, so don't tell yourself you're nervous. Tell yourself that you're excited and ready to go. I mean, you see this when you see me give a presentation here in these live streams, folks. I tell you about how excited I am, how I've been looking forward to this, how I get to choose the topics, how this is a Friday morning and I love starting the day like this. It's all these positive things. Now, by the way, they're all true. They're all true. I'm not just blowing hot air. But they're true because that's the mindset that I put myself in before I give the presentation. So roller coasters, they're exciting. Scary movies, they're exciting. And yet we pay people to put us on a roller coaster or to show us a scary movie. There's all kinds of things that create within us this weird oxymoronic fear and excitement. Presentations are the same way. Same thing. Okay, number 3. Don't just read the slides. I know I'm reading the slides, but it's really kind of because these are my notes and so forth and so on. And some things I actually want to read out loud to kind of turn your attention over that way, right? But when you're giving the presentation, have the mindset that you're just talking with friends. That's all you're doing. That's all I'm doing. Okay, listen, let me show you how I'm doing this right now. I know you're students. I get that. But you're not here because you're a student. This is a completely optional live stream. All right. You get a few extra credit points, but nothing that you're going to be able to like cash into Bitcoin or anything. You're here because you, for some reason that you can identify, you find this a valuable use of your time. Okay. Fantastic. Which means I'm talking with my tribe. I'm not giving a presentation. I'm not giving a lecture, even though I am giving a presentation, I am giving a lecture. What I'm really doing is I'm just chatting with people who are like-minded with me. You and I get each other. And that's not giving a presentation. That's spending time with your peeps. So think of it that way. Next one, and I actually this one works a lot for me. Just remind yourself that in an hour, you're going to be done. An hour is going to pass no matter what. All right. There is no force in this universe, with the exception of the universe ending, that would prevent an hour from passing. And when that hour does pass, you will have finished. You're done. So just know that, hell, in an hour, I'll be finished. No stress. You're fine. I actually do this one a lot. I mentioned at the beginning of our live stream that today's going to be like a hellaciously busy day, and I'm not really used to that. I got to stop getting in the habit of this hammer. I'm going to love and fall in love with that thing. It's a hellaciously busy day. And so my wife and I tell each other 10 hours. In 10 hours, you'll be completely done. So just gut through it for 10 hours and you're good. Okay. Here's the one that gets a little bit nihilistic, but it is really empowering. This is empowering to me. All right, here it goes. You think that the audience is thinking of you and thinking about you and analyzing and blah, blah, blah. They're not. They don't care. They don't care about you. Now, guys, everyone, folks, I am going to state this at an extreme to make a point. I am not accusing you of not giving a damn, okay? All right? I'm just going to state something at the outer edge of the extreme to make the point. All right, so with that, you're thinking about you. You're thinking about your day. You're multitasking. You might have a game going on another screen. You might be working on a paper. You might be texting. You're thinking about you. You're not thinking about me. Furthermore, if you are thinking about me, you'll forget. You'll forget me in no time. Finally, right now we've got 12 folks here. 12 people. And I'll have another 5 or 6 who will watch after the fact. No one's here. I can be a total cringy weirdo, and no one will ever know, let alone care. So just know that when you're giving a presentation, you've got maybe 12% of your audience's attention, and that it doesn't really matter. Now, that's where my wife says that's nihilistic, Lon. Don't say that, because you don't want to tell people that what they're doing doesn't matter and that nobody cares. But can you see the deliciousness in this? If nobody cares and nobody's really paying attention, then you can do anything. You can embrace who you are and not worry about it. You can try things. You can experiment with things. I teach differently every single semester because I'm always trying new crap. And if I were afraid that people would remember, I wouldn't be trying this stuff. So no one cares. No one cares. By the way, Claire says, if a YouTuber flops in an empty live stream, does it make a sound, right? Yes. Yes. Okay? So go for it. Be you. Have fun. I'm having a freaking hoot right now. I'm having the time of my life. Oh, whether I'm having any effect at all, I hope I am, but it doesn't really matter. I'm having fun. So you can do the same thing. Don't be nervous and think the world is judging you. The world doesn't care about you. That's good news. All right. So here's my call to action. And yeah, we're bang on. Remember, I always shoot for 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to be at 30 minutes. I hope you've written down a couple of these things that resonate with you. By the way, my rule whenever I go to like a seminar or a workshop or something like that, people are doing the want, words, blah, blah, blah for hours and hours and hours. And my measure of success is if I can come away with 3 things that I can work with, I call that successful because I'm not going to drink from the fire hose. I hope 1 or 2, maybe even 3, but 1 or 2 of the things that we discussed today, you find helpful. If they did, take some notes on how you might apply them. And the next time that you have to give a presentation or a report out or something at school or something at work or anything at all, employ some of these and sort of start practicing. One thing I've really learned in life is the secret is not knowing what to do. The secret is knowing how to do it, and that only comes with practice. I sent you an email or an announcement not too long ago saying that I recently finished my series on Beyond Time Management. I'm actually really good at time management, really good. And yet, in making the series, I realized, gosh, I'm not as good at that as I think I should be, and I could really improve here and there, and I have not practiced that as much, and I'm not as good at that as I used to be. It's all about practice. So find some ways that you can practice this and go for it. And as always, like to thank my Patreon supporters and so forth. They're the ones who make all this possible, so I deeply appreciate it. And I deeply appreciate my students who come to these darn things and make it worthwhile for me. So thank you very much. As always, I'm going to stick around for a couple of minutes if you have any questions or comments. Otherwise, I hope I've taken the fear out of presentations just a little bit, just a smidge, and you won't dread your next one quite so much. Do one at Uprock. right? So you all, there's announcements if you're one of my students and you're in Canvas, there's announcements at Uprock. Give a presentation at Uprock. It is such a safe place. It's ridiculous. So great place to practice this stuff. All right. So go off, have a fantastic day, especially an even better weekend. Make some trouble, and we'll talk to you again soon. We'll see ya. I'm going to throw in a thanks. Darn cold. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Panay and Jenny. Panay. Rihanna, we'll see ya. Avery, good to see ya. Ashley, oh, fantastic. I'm glad you found these helpful. We'll see you, Anna. Good, I'm glad. I'm glad you thought they were helpful. Try them out. Try them out. You'd be surprised how much stress they take off of you. Oh. Stupid cold. I'm almost past it, though. I'm excited for that. It's been 2 months. We'll see you, Parker. So I just wiped my nose for all to see, and it's now recorded on YouTube. But you know what? It doesn't matter because no one's here. No one cares. No one cares. Hey, thanks, Esmeralda. All right. Well, I see folks dropping off and the comments have slowed up. So I am going to go ahead and close things out. So once again, have a fantastic day, an even better weekend, and we'll see you next time.